Play a show. During and after I play a show, I I feel very relaxed. I feel like I've had a nice long talk with somebody that I'm very close to. I feel like I just had sex. I feel like there's all these endorphins running through my body. I feel, uh, you know, fulfilled in that way. The same, it's the same fulfillment that you get. It's a similar fulfillment that you get from being in a relationship and having an intimate connection with somebody, sharing an intimate moment. Um, so there is some, like I said, nugget of truth, obfuscate, hook it in your head, slavery. Um, there's a lot to this uh, tech that you can't all just like the Bible, just like any other thing, you can't dismiss it completely. But the disturbing part is there are some pretty deep uh, truths. Those little the pieces of bait. Uh, they're fairly substantial pieces of bait, and as you move along, as you move past Scientology, uh, I mean, as I've moved past Scientology, I can't help but wonder. Sometimes, uh, like today and last night, extremely lonely. Um, and it was a pretty crazy weekend, like everything all the time, right? Sometimes I make a musical reference again, call on your brother when you need a friend. We all need somebody to lean on. Um, Needed somebody to lean on, you know. I am frequently the person people lean on, believe that or not. I'm happy to be that person. Uh, However, I don't like, for some reason, it does aggravate me when I, there's this. I'm not saying this is right. In fact, I think there's something wrong with it. When people say, "Oh well, you've helped me. Thank you for being here for me. You've been a good friend." I haven't been a good friend to him. I can't do that for myself. You know, uh, I've gotten to a point to where I love myself, and there's and I accept myself, and I don't hate myself. But when people say those types of things, it's almost like it brings about a certain sadness that I can't be that for myself, and I don't know why. And it makes me wonder sometimes, uh, you know, because my immediate reaction is to throw myself into my work. Find your work and give yourself to it fully, which is from your work is to find your work and to give yourself to it fully. It's a Buddhist and Taoist thing, which I try to practice. And it correlates to that belief that I once had, that if you are desiring a intimate connection with somebody, then your best bet is to put yourself to work. Create. Be creative. I don't know if you guys dig on any of that, because it sounds, I understand how it sounds, like somehow I'm validating Hubbard. But the way I see it is that anything that Hubbard used as a nugget of truth bait was not his. So it's not validating Hubbard. It's validating wherever he got it from. And I know where he got it from. What's wrong with this universe? The first 3 quotes are ripped off from the Tao Te Ching, the Dhammapada, the Buddha Sutras, the Art of War, old texts. And then he throws his little 2 cents in with the reactive mind, which is so insidious, because those truths in the Tao and in the Buddha Sutras and the Dhammapada and the Art of War are simple truths that people recognize. Very easy to integrate. Very, very easy to integrate into your life. And to then immediately put and attach a negative to it, something that alters that truth, that basic truth that is true, in order to enslave you, is it's something that Chris Shelton has mentioned in his early videos, where he says, I will be recovering from Scientology for the rest of my life. And it's very true, because when you attach these incorrect things to truth, these basic truths that are so easy to just accept, like, I am who I am, and I can be who I want to be, except after C, I after E, except after C, or whatever. Like, you are then altering that basic truth to include something else that is not true. And so you get your truths mixed up with your not truths. You get conflict in your head. These hooks that you got to pull out constantly. Pull them out, pull them out, pull them out. And there are literally thousands of these things in Scientology. So I agree with Chris in that it's a lifelong thing, because even today I was thinking, like, am I thinking like a Scientologist again? I thought I got rid of all that stuff. Um, Sometimes you have to work it out and be like, okay, there's the truth and there's the bullshit. And it's symptomatic of it should, in other words, it when you go when you're dealing with that kind of cognitive dissonance years after, it's it manifests itself as a symptom of things like PTSD, complex PTSD, generalized anxiety disorder, and probably a whole lot of other hosts of things. Those are the ones that I tend to have noticed symptoms of. So, seems rather pathetic. I've been reconnecting with a lot of my old friends. And as the years have gone by, it's been slow reconnection, but it's like a friend of mine who I grew up with, who he actually lived with me and my mom and dad, me and my mom and Cowboy. When I was a teenager, we were both teenagers, troubled, bad kids. He's in town, and we hung out yesterday, and he's still in a little bit of disbelief that I'm back. You know, he's like, I can't believe you're back. You know, like, I thought I lost you. You know, he thought he lost me to Scientology. What am I thinking about? I'm just thinking about how I can't put into words what he told me about, you know, from the time I got home and we reconnected when I was still a Scientologist, and now having, you know, stopped practicing, stopped thinking like a Scientologist. The difference that he notices, and I can't put it into words for him. He'd have to tell you himself. So, that's what I got right now. That's I needed to make a video today just for my own cathartic reasons. Whether you watch it or not, you know, whatever. Haven't been in the best mood today. Everybody has bad days. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. I've had a lot of good days in a row. So a bad day is, you know, chalk it up to there's a time for everything. And I'm not overly concerned about it, but there's a deep sense of loneliness that I was feeling, and need for some sort of intimacy. And here it is. This is what it is. This is it. Welcome to the intimacy. You know, there's a part of me that thinks that some of the things that have happened, Scientology and before, make a relationship with me very difficult. Whether it's with a dude or a girl, like, you know, whether it's because I'm, you know, it's difficult both ways. There's things that are just difficult to explain and understand, and I get that. It's just who I am. Doesn't change my want or desire for intimacy, but I don't go out looking for it, really. And it doesn't come knocking on my door. So, whatever that is, I try to appreciate the relationships that I do have in my life for what they are, whatever they are, in whatever capacity it is. So, hope you guys have a good night. Had a good Labor Day. I'll see you guys later.